night, as it may be for me. It's 3:27 a.m. Central Time. Yeah, that's same time zone as Dakota, everyone. Yeah, it's dead night for me. This is Gresh, and this is our coverage of Free Practice 3. One thing I want to get out of the way, and someone in Twitch chat, please clip this at some point for us. Yesterday we had probably our most successful day ever on Twitch. We had over 1,000 people watching at one point. And one of the things that we saw over on Twitch when we looked at the data is a website called F1 Game. They're a Japanese language community, and it seems like they were the ones. Someone over there was basically sending people our way, and we want to thank them for that as well. You guys were awesome. I looked at your website through Google Translate. You guys are great. It's a great website if you can read Japanese and are willing to deal with Google Translate. And as you guys over there look like you're huge Yuki fans, and that's really cool to see that as well. So thank you guys over at F1 Gate. Oh, I thank everyone who's here right now. Again, this is Mayaki, Paula. Shay was here for a while. Shay was here. She gave me my red flags. Dark Maggie, if you're agreeing, say something so I can give you a shout out right now. But these are the people who have joined the channel over on YouTube. Again, they've got a little badge and they're green, and yeah, they're throwing money each month at the channel, or some other people are getting guest subscriptions for the month. But one of the things is when you're a green chatter over there, is that you do have access to several emojis that are specific to the channel, which are cars and for the drivers and whatnot. So yeah. And Mohawk, yeah, Japanese fans are next level. Yeah, they definitely are next level. I mean, they're up there with I was talking about the Chinese and them as being awesome groups. I love watching the shots of the crowd of what they're wearing and whatnot. They're pretty really cool. Um, the the Mexican fans around Mexico City, they're pretty cool too. I'll give that as well. And then you get the Tohosis and the Orange Army, and they're a whole another group of fans altogether. Right now, good at the moment. We're about a minute away from FP3 starting. And right now, we've got McLaren in the driver's seat for the Constructors' Championship. I mean, you take Ferrari and Mercedes, you add them together, they don't even come close to the McLaren total. In fact, if McLaren gets a 1-2 or a 1-3 this weekend, Constructors is theirs. It will be suited up. There is another scenario where if they don't get the 1-3, what was the? There you go. If Ferrari doesn't score 9, they have to. If Ferrari scores less than 9 points, and Mercedes scores less than 12 points, and Red Bull scores less than 33 points, then they will also manage, and that's the less than what McLaren has scored. So Ferrari has to score more than 9 points to keep the constructor battle going. Otherwise, they will wrap up the constructor as well. So there's basically three ways: 1-2, 1-3, and then outscore the others by a certain value. So, and we have started. We've gotten into our first minute already in FP2. No one's out on track. This is usual for FP3, unfortunately. Yeah, we will see. It will take about a few minutes. Drivers are still getting into their cars. Yeah, it's very low key for the beginning of FP3, unless there's a need for it to go out right away by a team. It's like a game of chicken at sometimes. Entertainment asks, the quality rules will be the same in 2026 as they are 26 drivers. The one change, Entertainment, the one change in the quality rules is that whether instead of limiting 5 drivers in Q1 and Q2, we'll be limiting 6 drivers in Q1 and Q2. So we'll go from 22 to 16 and then 16 to 10. Right now we're going from 20 to 15 and then 15 to 10. There is a small chance of rain, and I don't know what the exact value is, but I know they were like, maybe. Look at... So this was posted 3 days ago by F1. Chance of rain is 40%. So mostly cloudy in the morning with slight moderate chance of showers till midnight till noon. Likely dry afternoon with under a partly mostly cloudy sky. Moderate down north-northerly winds, gusts of 60 kilometers per hour in the morning, decreasing a bit after that. So FP3, they're thinking 20 degrees Celsius. Quality 21 degrees Celsius. And then tomorrow, there's a 20% chance of rain. This is, again, issued 3 days ago, so there's probably a better update to the forecast sooner. Martin, pedal to the metal. That would be nice if anyone was actually on track at the moment. Again, this is the Racing Statistics channel, and this is our coverage of FP3, and this is Crash with you live right now. Again, no one is on track, so we're just waiting for the first car to go out. Okay, we've got on 4 minutes already in this session. Torxby is saying that Hamilton is a low downforce wing currently set up. That's cool to know. I'm not paying attention to everything as it is at the moment, so. So from car performance from Australia to Italy, only 2 teams have really have gained. It's Ferrari and Haas, and then again McLaren is the fastest overall. So anyone can get the top. Yeah, anyone who goes out can get the top time. There was one decision document yesterday. It's document number 18. If you go start looking, this is on the FI decision document, and it's for Oscar. Basically, he failed to slow under yellow flags at 16:33. It's a breach, failing to follow the flags. He was given a reprimand, and I don't know how to feel about this because that feels right. But the problem I have with that ultimately is Hamilton didn't slow down enough, and it was given a grid drop penalty. And I just feel like that was probably uncalled for in terms of grid drop penalty. He probably should have given a reprimand. They're doing a shot through the course, and there's some people on the track. Odd. And Lawson is on track right now, everyone. Are they looking to save tires? I'm not sure in which regards. I mean, they may be trying to keep. I know some teams are trying to save the medium tires because they're looking to use them potentially in quali later today. Marianne, good morning. They're from the Netherlands. While we have time, if you guys want to throw out where you are watching from in chat, whether it's Twitch or YouTube, that'd be great. And Bierman's out on track right now. So we've got Lawson and Bierman right now on track. See, and they're both on hard tires. We'll see how this goes. Isaac is coming out as well now. Got some argument from India. They're over in Twitch chat. Don't mind saying that they're thinking that the race will be a one-star hard medium, calling it now. Know that if the Pirelli is trying to get the teams to do a two-stop, that's why they've given them the C6 compound for the soft. The medium is C5, which is what we normally know as our softs, and then the hards are our C4. Welcome to Chat Subview. So the finals are tomorrow? No, not the finals. It's the Grand Prix is tomorrow, Og. We've got several more races to go this year. Two in the United States. We've got Brazil and Mexico still, as well as a couple more in the Middle East. So we've got several races to go. And Singapore too. Tommy, I love is not Red Bull, but Verstappen is an answer. How low has Red Bull synced? Is something crazy. You do realize that Red Bull won the last race. I gotta point that out. That Red Bull won that last race. And that was a big win by Max as well. So we have a yellow flag. And is it Bierman? So Bierman looks like he went off at turn 4 and has come back onto the track. Lawson did basically installation lap, so what that means is basically came in and came out on the same lap. If we had done, and effectively Isaac has done installation lap as well. So they've basically effectively have scrubbed a hard tire. Did Behrman get into the wall? No, it looks like Behrman, there are runoff areas, and there's one predominantly at turn 4. And it looks like he went off at turn 4, and they're doing a replay right now. Yeah, no, he doesn't make the turn, and goes off just barely into the runoff area, and he backs up, and that brought out the yellow flag because he's backing into the race area. Yeah, right now Hamilton has not come out of the pits, so I mean, like basically, we've had only 3 drivers on track so far. Being asked how Ryan is doing, he's the commentator who was on for quali and for the race most of the time. And from what I've been heard is that he's doing well, that he's resting. He basically graduated from college, and so that is so much pressure on you, and so he's taking his time. I also heard that he's not actually watching F1 at the moment, and that makes sense given how he was so closely related to like Max's dominance. It can hard to be doing in that commentary when Max is just dominating left and right. So just saw a huge jump of viewers over on Twitch chat. I want to thank F1 Gate, the people yesterday who were providing us recommendation for people to come watch us onto Twitch. Ozzy's asking who's the youngest driver here on the list. That would be Antonelli right now. He's the youngest. Bierman right now is the only one out on track at the moment. Yeah, right now I gotta. Oh, thank you, Marianne. Tell me that I'm doing a good job. I don't get a lot of feedback. I don't get a lot of critical feedback, so it's good knowing that more people are telling me. Right now, just put a drop into Twitch chat. We have gotten a lot of Japanese viewers on that channel right now. I just gave a greeting to those for you from Japan. And I'm dropping my name in both Twitch and YouTube chat. If you guys have a question right now, that you can use my name and highlight that. We've got Norris and Lawson back out on track, so we've got 3 drivers right now. Norris yesterday hit one of the walls and destroyed his suspension, and basically his car was shaking all the way back to the pits. He was going about between 30 and 60, 60 kilometers an hour around the castle section and back on the back straight. I don't know if you did make it, but hi again to you. Thank you for. Glad that you enjoy hearing my voice, Stark. We've got more. We've got Oscar on Hulkenberg and Ocon on track right now. So that gives us Watson, Baron, Ocon, Norris, Oscar, Hulkenberg in that order on track right now. Bierman's the only one who set a actual time. It's a 1:47.33. He's right now fastest first sector again, improved in his time. 37.501, and then there's a 37.105, so 4/10 faster by Norris in sector 1. So here comes the papaya boys. Some of you were asking about the double yellow again. Bierman had gone off at turn 4. There is a turn off section, so if they lock up, don't make their turn, they can instead of crashing into the wall, there's an area where they can turn into instead. Hamilton yesterday, our FP2 best top of the board coming out. His teammate Leclerc was P2 in FP2 yesterday. So Ferrari looking good yesterday. Mercedes was looking good yesterday as well. Max was okay yesterday, ultimately. So there's the oddity yesterday is that both McLarens had hit the wall and did not have a great time on the board. But that was Friday. Today's Saturday, and we have qualification later today. Track is dirty. I'm gonna tell you that right now. There's a lot of leaves on the track, and that's interesting to see. There was no F2 session before our practice session here today. So this is the first session today on this track, and there's a lot of leaves blowing around. You wouldn't just and there's a lot of trees that are overhanging it as it is, but still, it's very prominent, and you can see those leaves flying about as cars go around. Question of how they are going to affect grip. I think the users who have shown up already. I know this is a very early session in a lot of places around the world. I know right now we've got over 500 watching in Twitch, and we got over 1,300 of you watching on YouTube. So thank you so much. Those are here right now. You do have options, and we appreciate you picking us. Some accurate, the cars are literally vacuuming. They're not vacuuming up the leaves. They're blowing them around. They're basically forcing them around by the fact that they're just by the wind that they produce by just going around. Oscar right now has two purple sections, purple section 1, sector 2. He's coming to the line right now, and he improves in sector 3. So not a full purple sector, but he goes top of the board 144.817. So he's 9/10 faster than his teammate. 9/10 faster than Beerman, almost a second faster than his teammate. And Hulkenberg goes P2. He's 735 behind, 735 thousandths behind Oscar, and he takes fastest third sector. Kamel 349. So you're in the Panhandle, Northwest Florida. For those who don't know, Florida has that Panhandle piece. He's living in, and that's in a different time zone than the rest of the state. Do you think the DRS zone in the main straight should be increased for better racing? It probably could be. I mean, it is what it is at this point. I mean, this is the last year we're going to be working with DRS. Next year, when we start the regulations, we're going to have what's called active aero. So we won't have designated DRS areas, and the rules basically they'll be allowed to open up for more downforce in areas. They can get less drag. There's what they call a Z mode or Z mode, and some of you guys are going to say. And that's basically like opening up the DRS for drag reduction. And the idea is with the active arrows that is opening and closing based on whether they're on a straight or they're coming into a curve. And that we'll talk a lot more about that next year as we understand the mechanics of it. Why in every free practice midfield teams pop off? It is because there is an element of that the top four basically are not always going with they're out there doing quality level laps. They may be again these these midfield teams are maybe doing quality. They may be doing a quality program, and the other whether it's Red Bull or Mercedes are not doing those. As we note right now, we've got Beerman at the top of the board with 144. 450. Sonoda 144.547. Go Yuki. Albon right now is 144.561, and Leclerc is a 144.693. These are ahead of Oscar. Alonso is coming 6th, Sainz 7th, Hamilton is 10th right now, and Lawson 11th. These are new. Hey, I'm saying, do you see any early seat moves for 2026? Not. I mean, the big one right now is that Cadillac has defined that they're going to take Checo and Valtteri Bottas as their drivers next year. So if you were a Valtteri Bottas fan or a Checo fan, rejoice! Your drivers are one or both of your drivers are coming back. There is a big headwind, and then the weather report said this could be up to 60 kilometers per hour. So that's a heavy gust. Right now, it's listed at 7.6 from the southwest. How can you not be a Bottas fan? Um, if you're a hardcore Red Bull fan, you can be. I can see someone being not a Bottas fan. But now that he's gone to did his stint at Sauber and now is the reserve driver at Mercedes, he's doing a lot of cool social media stuff. So Norris to the top of the board. Antonelli has gone second. Lawson has gone third. We have a yellow flag, and it is around turn 3. And it's gone. So there was a moment there at turn 3. Let's see. It looked like either Sonoda or Hamilton. There was something had gone on with either one of those drivers. But we're back to green. Again, yesterday's fastest time was 142.43. So we're about a second and some odd off at the moment. Lawson right now in that last lap at the fastest for the sector. Right now, Leclerc right now putting together a good lap. Fastest first and second sector. He's coming to the line right now. Isaac's going to come ahead of him. Isaac improves in his time, but not in his position. Here comes Leclerc. Leclerc goes to the top of the board, 143.048. Stroll moves up to 11th. So right now we got the new times on the board is Leclerc, Norris, Antonelli, Lawson in that order. Then we have down at 9, 10, 11, 12. Sorry, 9, 10, 11 is Isaac, Gasly, Stroll. Colpino just moved to 13th, 145, 279, which is a 2.2 gap. So we've got huge gaps right now. Leclerc is top of the board. Norris is almost 6/10 back, and then we're over a second to P3. So gaps are huge here. And right now, F1 TV is reporting wind at 29 kilometers per hour. That's going to be going in the southwest direction. Albon just jumped up to 2. P2 with a 143.549. That's 501 gap to Leclerc. So there's a half a second gap from P1 to P2 right now. Hamilton has yet to put together a very his best lap is a 145. So they may have sent out Hamilton in a different configuration, or he may be weighted down to do test runs. Race runs as opposed to quality runs. Max jumping up to P2, 143.444. That's a 0.396, so about 0.4 difference between Leclerc and Verstappen. Did I'm wondering if they played with the toe. This is such a huge gap, and there's another yellow flag. It's Portolello at turn 3. That's going to come back to a green flag. That means he basically went off and came back on. And you are going to see this on a regular basis this weekend, during quali and through the race itself. Drivers are going to go use that turn off location rather than crash their car. I think they're saving tires. Yes, they're definitely saving the medium tire, which is the C5 compound. We've only seen hards and softs, and that's intentional. Pirelli did not give the teams many of the medium tires, so we probably won't see a medium tire during this section. And Hamilton has gone to the top of the board now, 142.988. So disregard me saying about him being on race run. I thought if he had stayed there for much, through most of the session, that would have been the case. That is not the case, apparently. Gap between Hamilton and Leclerc is 0.060, so 60 thousandths between Hamilton and Leclerc right now. And Bortolello locked up, which is why he locked up, misses his turn, goes into the escape route, and then backs up onto track to continue down racing. So Hamilton looking really good so far this weekend. We'll see how, again, we'll all come together when we come back for quali later today. Yeah, there's been a change with YouTube lately, and they're just inserting ads. I mean, I've been getting ads on YouTube as well. Even if you're a member of the channel, you're paying for. They're still serving up ads, and it's just how the platform has evolved in the past year. So that's unfortunate. Twitch is usually has been better in that regards. Stroll has just jumped up to 12th. Isaac is now 4th right now, and Tsunoda 7th, and Lawson 8th. So these are the times that have been new to the board. Stroll 12th, Alonso 13th. And there is Ostrich just jumped to the top of the board, 142.726. So that's 262 faster than Hamilton. And someone missed the turn 4, which is what brought out that double yellow. I want to say it was like Antonelli. Another clear track in sector 15 we had a yellow. Again, they're going to pop up in this regards. Sainz just went to P2, 142.892. So he is one of the 3 drivers in the 142. He's only 166 behind Oscar. He's 3rd in sector 2. That's Oscar Piastri. I'm butchering his name. Excuse me, everyone. The papaya fellow seems to have fallen off the pace since Tire Watergate. Tire Watergate was nothing. So basically, what that's being accused here is that McLaren was accused of basically putting water in their tires to help cool them. That was not the case, and they actually mocked that claim. Lando just jumped up to P11. The 143.690. He's just under a second behind Oscar. Bierman's at 12th. He is 1.275, so over a second there. Though he is on a hard tire, and Alonso was on a soft. Only two drivers in the pits right now. That would be Lawson and Stroll at the moment. Clerk taking the top spot again in 142.354. He's on his soft tire, and he's 3.72 faster than Oscar on that lap. Clerk is the fastest in Sector 1, fastest in Sector 2, but he is the second fastest in Sector 3. His teammate Hamilton is the fastest. And it's about 10th and a half. 125. So an eighth of a second between Hamilton and Leclerc in Sector 3. So that's about 0.125. No, what McLaren is doing with their tires is that they've coated the inside of the tires frames with a compound that when it heats up, it takes a large amount of energy to push it from one matter state to another. And because they just can't get it past that certain, so they can't get it to the point where like it liquefies. It just soaks up all of that heat and helps keeps the rim of the tire cool, keeps the temperature of the tire cooler in that regards. And it is high level PhD physics stuff that we're talking about here, and yeah, they're the ones who are on the vanguard on that. Phase changing material. Thank you for Megatron. That's the technical name for it is. Basically, the idea is that when you go from like solid to or liquid or liquid to a vapor, there's a lot of energy that has to go into the material to push it to that next state. And what they're doing is they're finding a material that they just can't get enough energy into it to push it to that next state. And so it stays at that temperature and soaks up that energy. And that is as far as I understand how the phase change materials work. So that is, if you want more information, that's go crack out some PhD papers. Be quite honest. We're got 25 minutes to go into this session. I want to thank everyone over in YouTube chat, everyone in Twitch. We've got 885 right now watching on Twitch, 1,689 watching on YouTube. A lot of you are watching from Japan. Konnichiwa, I hope I pronounced that correctly. If I butchered that, my apologies. Again, I want to thank F1Gate.com for sending a lot of the new watchers over to our way. When we looked at the data, that was the one website that was a constant pushing people our way. So I want to thank them over at that community, that Japanese language community. Russell has gone P8, Albon has gone P5, and Verstappen has gone P2. He's 2:13 behind Leclerc. Behrman has gone P4. He's 5:10 behind Leclerc. Albon is 5.71. Anthony's gone P8. He's 9.28, and Russell, his teammate, is 1.164 now back. So those are the new fastest, improved times on the board for drivers. Max did had a fastest second sector, and it's about 0.8. No, it'd be 7. Yeah, 0.77. 77 thousandths faster than Leclerc. So that would be 0.077 specifically. Alcon's cooking right now. We got several people cooking right now. Gasly is improving right now, and Isaac looks like he's doing well right now. Isaac has improved in Sector 1, so is Ocon in Sector 1 and 2. Gasly about to finish Sector 2, and he's improved in his Sector 2 times as well. He is 4.21, so he is about 9/10 off of Max's Sector 1, 2 time. Ocon finishes lap, he goes to P9, he's 0.971 back. Lawson improving in Sector 1, he's starting now Sector 2. Got a fastest first subsector in Sector 2. Gasly moves up to 16, 1.7 back. We're much more spread out. Yesterday we were like under 2.2 from P1 to P20. That gets us to basically approximately to 19th. Not sure what's up with Bortoletto. He's almost four seconds off the pace. He would be the only exception right now. How do you get all this data? I mean, there's APIs that F1 provides to people to use their data. We're displaying it using Multiviewer is one of the applications. There's a bunch of other applications we're using. Lawson just went to P9, 143.182. That is 0.828 back, 828 thousandths behind Leclerc. Why the McLarens are so slow? I mean, Norris, I'm not sure. I mean, Oscar's P3, so that's not that bad. Star says Lando's got to try something different from Lando tire wise. We'll find out later what their tactic's going to be. We are suspecting that the medium tires are going to get used during qualification because they're not showing up. They're not showing up here, and we suspect that the medium tire is actually performing is faster than the soft tire. We did get into the 141s in, but you got to also understand that FP2 is also more representative times. Track temperature was actually was much lower in FP2. So there were a lot of reasons why they were faster in FP2, and we'll see those 141s in quali later today. A lot of drivers brushed the wall in FP2. That brush kiss and then Lando slamming hard into the wall. Following Leclerc right now through the castle section. Right now, him, Lawson, and Verstappen and his teammate Hamilton are only ones on track. You got under 20 minutes to go in this session right now. Again, this is Race Statistics channel. This is Grash. I want to thank everyone who are here. Almost 1,000 watching in Twitch, and 1,800 and more on YouTube. Been a wonderful day with views. What do the colors of the section mean? So, thank you for asking a question, Puck. All right, so let's take Verstappen right now. He's on a flying lap. In Sector 1, that's purple. It means he's on the fastest in that area. If you look at the subsections, he started off the lap not so great. So yellow means that he has not improved in that sector time. Green means an improvement in that sector time. Purple means the fastest. And then the other two colors you will see are blue, which means coming in and out of the pits, and then a red if for some reason they have crashed or stopped on the track. So right now, Max has got a fastest first and second. He's fastest in the first two sectors. So he's on his way to a flying full purple lap. So if he does a fastest in sector 3, that would be a full purple lap. And he does okay. coming the line. Does not get the purple on sector 3, but he goes to the top of the board, 141.727. Again, we are first in the 1.7, and he's 0.6 faster than Leclerc. Again, we are willing, don't feel bad about asking questions. We would rather you ask questions and learn. We are very newbie friendly because we want you guys to understand what's going on. And that's the only way you guys are going to, like we may say something. Ooh, Lawson just did a turn. Came to hit the curb. And he just spins. He does a full spin, and he's lucky. He does a 360 spin and gets the car back, pointing down the track. He is lucky that nothing else happened. And he is, for obvious reasons, has pitted. 17 minutes to go in this session right now. Again, you're listening to the Race Statistics channel. This is Grash with you live with coverage of FP3. We just had Lawson spin. Verstappen has gone to the top of the board with 141.727. He's the first one in the 141s this morning. He's 0.6 faster than Leclerc, specifically 6.01, if you want to be technical. Leclerc is P2, Oscar's P3, Beerman is P3, and Sainz is P5. Albon is P6, and Hamilton is P7. There's a big gap. Oscar is almost a second back off of Max. So there's huge gaps this morning at the top of the board. What time is the poll? We don't know. Poll will be determined during quali, and that will be like 2.5 hours after this session ends. So we'll be back in about 2 hours from now, approximately. And we start with some music at the beginning of our session, streaming session, I should say. And then I come on about 5 minutes or so before the session begins. Is Lando and Oscar coming back out? I would expect that they would come out. I would give them a few more minutes. I don't know. I haven't seen if they've done extensive work on the car, but they were out on track. It's just a matter of time and when they'll come back out for the last program of this practice session. And as I say right now, Norris is coming out. We've seen Oscar a couple times already. So, Lando is coming back out. Looks like Lando's on new soft tires. Again, those are the C6 tires. Welcome, Jess, to the channel. Another first-time chatter. Thank you. Again, my name is Grash. Grasher is my full username on Twitch and YouTube. And if you guys have a question, please, welcome to use my name to @ me to highlight my name for your question. Dark Mario is pointing out that there's some coloring on the chart. So the red lines that you're seeing is Sector 1. Those green dashes is the DRS zone. Blue is Sector 2, and then orange to yellow, depending on your monitor setup. That is Sector 3. So start-finish line, first from start-finish line, going the east side of it is Sector 1. And they're going counterclockwise around this circuit, which is unusual. Most circuits are going clockwise. Sonoda right now did a P9 with 143.141. He's 1.4 back from his teammate. That's not necessarily great, but there's a huge variation on this track. got Heathcliff in one of the simulators set up around the paddock, help demonstrate what's going on. $13 minutes left to go in this session. Again, this is Grash with you, covering the action on track right now. We have a yellow flag. It's trying to figure out why. It was either Bierman or Colapino who caused that. Has resolved back to green, so it's not a big deal. Albon just went to P2. He's 256 behind Max right now. Max right now coming out. Ferrari right now in the pit right now. So is Sainz, Lawson, Ocon, Aston Martin, Colapino, and Bordello are all in the pits at the moment. Sainz now coming out. Russell going to P3. He's 372 behind Max, fastest second sector. Norris taking that fastest second sector. He has taken first sector as well, so he's on his way to a potential flying lap. That's again, if he does improvement sector 3. Antonelli's gone P3 ahead of his teammate. 265 is his gap. Here comes Norris to the line. Isaac has gone P8. Norris goes top of the board. He's a 141.223, and he's half a second faster than Verstappen. Hamilton, no, that's Hulkenberg going to P8. He's 1.2, 1 second and 2/10 behind. Lando right now. Ooh, they're showing one of the Williams getting really. The back tire did touch the wall. You can see that the back tire touches the wall and rips some of the branding wrap that's there. How is the qualifying track lineup decided? Well, in quali, basically they have a time limit. So there's 3 sessions, and each of those sessions, all of the drivers in that session have that amount of time to set their time. So it's not like if you're looking like Indianapolis, IndyCar, or NASCAR. I know on the super speedways like Indianapolis, I think Iowa and Nashville, they basically do a driver goes out, does several laps around the track, and those they average the time, the speed on those laps to determine the order. That's not the case. Basically, it is a time lap here, but they basically have there's no order. Basically, you go out and you got to deal. If you've got traffic in front of you, you got to deal with traffic. We're under 10 minutes to go in this session right now. Is Audi confirmed yet? Yep, Audi is confirmed for next year. So the Sauber team, the Stake, Sauber, Kick team will be fully Audi next year, and Audi actually is in control of the team as it is. Yeah, as it stands right now, Audi has 100% ownership stake in the team. There's a yellow flag. Don't see where it is, but it's gone back to green, so it means someone's gone off the track and come back on. I do see Stroll using a medium tire. That's interesting that Aston Martin has decided to put him out on a medium tire. Pirelli has not given, they've been stingy with that medium tire in terms of allocation this weekend. Looking at right now. Someone's asking, will Conseg enter F1? I don't know who that if that's a team, that's a no. There's no new teams being added to the grid besides Cadillac, and I don't know who that is. If that's a driver. Want to thank everyone who's here right now. Over 1,000 of you, almost 1,106 watching right now on Twitch. Another yellow flag, and that's resolved back sector 6. So that's resolved back. Another yellow flag again. This is Albin basically going off track, using the escape route, escape area to see what happened. He makes that turn fine. He goes into the next turn, and he doesn't make the turn. Something goes wrong. He wasn't. Okay, so Albin basically the wind picked up. So this is one of the things that's been happening is that the wind it's been very windy today, and so he got a gust of wind, and it roiled him in a way that he used the safety area. And there was the other yellow flag somewhere around sector 16, which is between turn 15 and turn 16. That was either Oscar Max or Antonelli for some reason. That has been resolved as well. Your multi-viewer keeps pausing by itself. Any idea? I'm not actually using multi-viewer. That's being again. I am the voice of the channel right now. Our boss, who also you'll hear occasionally on the channel, he's the one actually running multi-viewer and setting up the streaming stuff. So if you add racing statistics, you'll get his attention. Norris did not improve sector 1, but he's within a tenth of the fastest time, and it's only by 2 thousandths of a difference between the sector he just did and his fastest time. Clerk has taken sector gone P2 in sector 1. Norris abandoned his lap, and that is something that you'll see is that they'll do well, and they might make a mistake or somewhere, and they were like, yeah, we'll just come in and we'll make an adjustment to the car. And sometimes they'll push in sector 1, sector 2, and then abandon the lap in sector 3 and come in. Oscar has gone P2. I take that, and then he's now pushed to P3 by Matt going P2. Max has gone fastest sector 1, and Oscar has gone faster in sector 3. Max is 0.22 behind Norris, and Oscar is 0.315 behind Norris. It's not. It's bananas. May not be your PC. It may be how multi-viewer is programmed. Because if there's things that you can do if you do it on your processor as opposed to on the GPU, it's hugely expensive it's slower because you did it on the CPU than the GPU type stuff. So that's one of the things that could be going on. And there could be a setting where it pushes it to the GPU and it renders it nicely. Max Tears cheering in chat. 2 minutes and 50 seconds left to go. We got over 1,148 watching right now in Twitch. 2,127 watching on YouTube right now. Thank you so much. Again, a huge thank to F1 Gate for yesterday with FP2 sending people our way. They are a Japanese language community. Liberty Media running the show and the corrupt stewards. Well, come on, man. The stewards, Liberty Media do not employ the stewards. That is the FIA. There is a wall between the stewards and Liberty Media, so that is something. Unfortunately, you're jumping to conclusions there. Unfortunately, now with IndyCar, that's not so clear of a scenario. Hamilton has gone P3 on the board, 141.499, 276 back. He's at the fastest first sector. Antonelli has gone P5. 0.686 back. Then Isaac P10, 1044 back. Alonso has just gone 13th. Lawson has gone up to 8th, 142.146. 923 back. Right now, Beerman right now looking potentially maybe improving on their times. Oscar improving on his times right now. Ocon looking to improve on his times at the last minute. Let's see, Isaac is coming across the line. And he was all yellow, so that's a cooldown lap. We'll see if he goes for a flying lap. Beerman improves in Sector 2. He's coming to the line right now. Another yellow flag, that is Ocon, who looks like he's gone off the road and has come back on. Beerman has gone P7. He's 0.762 behind. What's going on? Sector. So it looks like Ocon again missed turn 3. Looks like. And that is time. First car to take the flag goes Hamilton. See right now, Antonelli is improving. See if Isaac is improving. He's got some green. Coming to the end of Sector 2 right now. Let's see if he improves. Stroll is improving, and he's improved in Sector 2 time. Isaac improved in Sector 2 time. Comes Stroll. He's the end of his lap. And he does not improve in his time ultimately across the whole lap. Got Russell to look at. Comes Russell to the end of he's coming to the end of his lap. Russell moves up to 6 at 141.964. And it's a 0.741 behind Norris. Yeah, I think that is it. Yep, that is it for our last practice. Norris has gone to the top of the board with 141.223. Verstappen has gone P2 and Oscar has gone P3, and Hamilton is P4. These are all under 276. 276 for Hamilton, 254 for Oscar, and 222 for Verstappen. So they're all within a tenth of each other. P2, P3, P4. So not a lot. Any small mistake. That is, they were drifting across the track. So, for those of you who are watching on YouTube, basically you'll be taken to our quali session stream in a moment. For those of you who are on Twitch, just stay here, keep the window open, you'll be fine. I want to thank everyone who has been watching. Again, 1,200 of you watching on Twitch. About double that over on YouTube at one point. Again, an early morning session for a lot of people. Again, it's 4:33 a.m. Central Time where I'm at the moment. So, thank you for everyone wherever you were watching from, on what platform you're watching from, or if you're watching on demand after the fact. This has been the Racing Channel. This has been Grash with you with this live coverage. So it'll be about two and a half hours, approximately, when we'll be playing music again, and then about 2 hours we'll be playing music. 2.5 hours to the start of the session, Q1, and I'll be on just about like 10 to 5 minutes, about 5 minutes before the Q1 starts. So, for all you here from the Racing Channel, we'll see you for quali. Take care, everyone.